studying caustic right now. I was actually a painting major in college, oil painting major. And then I came out and did the ski bum thing, and oil paints were too stinky to work in. So I ended up switching a lot to travel journals and travel, like I worked really small. Like my senior thesis was 8 foot by 4 foot. And then I went down to these little like 4 by 6 pieces of paper to chronicle, 20 some odd years. So, and more so than anything, my work for me, it's very much about trying to find that peace and tranquility while I create. And what I realize more than ever in this time is that people need it. I knew for me, I needed to have a studio that was right outside my back door. And as much as I wanted to be at SAW or someplace else, I wouldn't go as much unless I could just like slip outside for a half hour here and there. As a parent, it's kind of hard to juggle working creation into your daily fabric. We came home from that trip and I was like, how do we do something, in the back, how could we do something in the backyard? And so a friend of ours, we've got a lot of friends in construction and whatnot, and so he's like, well, we're ripping all these doors and windows out of a place on Red Mountain that are just gonna get smashed, to get them out. So we're like, well, we'll come up. We got some friends, and so the materials sat on the side of the house for a long time. Everything kind of has a story behind it, as far as, Brad Reed Nelson did all the bookshelves and the built-ins and different local people. The windows actually were from a lady's house who was an art patron in Aspen. She probably loved that they ended up being somebody's like creation of a studio. It is really weird times, and my art has definitely, I kind of almost took a break from it, a teeny bit. What I ended up doing was I did a lot more journal work. I did a lot more travel work, and not as much in caustic per se. What I realized when COVID kind of really initially started, I kind of hunkered down. I was on the road. Actually, I was on the road trying to expand to the West Coast, like get my art into galleries out there. I had 2 pop-ups set up in California, and literally I was there and California shut down. So it ended up being this great kind of like Vision Quest road trip by myself, living out of the van on the Pacific Coast Highway. And I was on the road for like 12 days and just did I filled an entire journal with this stuff. My work is very much intuitive, and it's about what the messages that I get in working with it. Nature, for certain, influences me. I'm always, even when I used to do photography in college, and I've always been a tad bit obsessed with patterns, be it atmospheric. I think it's why I really like those elements that are salty and weathered and made better by distress and age. This collection that I'm working on is called Shellscapes, and they're based on the atmospheric patterns inside shells. I've worked in all kinds of mediums, and then all of a sudden in, I don't know, maybe early 2000s, I started seeing caustic, and I was like, whoa, what's that? And I realized that for me, that it was going to be, it might be the medium. And so then that's what I started to explore. They're super atmospheric. Because this medium is all natural, so beeswax will breathe for the life of the painting. That was really fascinating to me, to work with a medium that was all natural, especially because my work is inspired by nature. I liked this play of just like a shell it's born one way, if you will, and then it gets so weathered by the elements. It's got a story on the inside and the outside. I really liked that, and I tried to capture that by really not trying to direct the paint too much. The elements of the mist and the salt in the air would actually affect the reticulation of the watercolor medium as it would dry. And so I think I've always liked that idea of it's a collaboration with nature in some way, shape, or form. The future of art, I think I love all the public art that's going on. I love getting art outside of the white walls, getting totally disparate people to collaborate together. I think it's such a creative area, our valley. It's interwoven into everything we do. And you think about how many creative fields, be it fine art, craft art, or professional art, like even from landscape design to architecture to graphic design. And I think what SAW did is amazing because it wove it all together. I think the hardest part for most artists is to step away from the noise of the world. I think in order to really create, you need to get the hell away from your cell phones. My worst habit. And as artists, if you're a working artist and you're trying to promote yourself, you're supposed to be on social media and doing all these different things, and then it pulls you out of this internal creation spot, and you're getting washed out by all these other ideas, which can be good and bad depending upon who you are. So I think as an artist, it's really important to find your own voice and your own style. Whenever I would start to create, I'd always light my candles, and I would light Palo Santo, which is the holy wood, and I would bless the space. I'd clear any stuck energy from within myself, and I would just wave it over the medium, not even thinking of it. And I'd always ask that the beeswax and the tree sap and the art I put out into the world would bring the peace and tranquility I feel when I create. You can program elementals, and that you can ask nature to, you can program it for what you want it to do. And so little did I ever know that I was blessing these mediums, basically, or inviting them into that process of play and happiness and sharing that with the world. And I think the people that really, really get my work, it's because they feel that element. If anything, I think moving away from the wax and taking some space away from creating and how I've been creating in a way that I have been creating has helped me through my journal, through real contemplation and stillness and all that. I feel like my art has kind of evolved and just gone deeper. And I've realized that sometimes, I think all artists, we question like if what we do to the world matters and if people feel it the way we feel it. And that's the one feedback I've gotten over the years with my artwork, is that people like will write to me and tell me, or send me messages via, people I don't even know will send me messages via social media and be like, I saw one of your paintings, like it just has this tranquil presence that I can't even articulate.